In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am conveying my greetings and best wishes to every one of you. Hope that all of you are fine and healthy along with your daily life's activities. I am glad to be here once again. It's my pleasure to hear from you as well. And for the time being, we're all healthy. Let's thank Almighty Allah for being healthy. So today we'll be discussing about the remaining portions of the land pollutions, and today we'll be talking about the source of land pollutions, as well as we might talk about some causes of the land pollutions. So let us we talk about what are the sources or causes of land pollutions. چی باعثی شدد که زمین کثیف شده، یعنی منابع و اسباب کثیف شدن زمین چی شده، چی هستند که باعثی می شود آلودگی محیط را ایجاب می کند. So below are some of the sources of solid and semi-solid pollutant too. So there are many different ways of permanently changing the land, from a soil contamination, poisoning by chemicals or waste, to a general urbanizations, the systematic creation of cities and other human settlements from greenfield virgin land. So some such as huge landfill or quarries are very obvious. Others such as atmospheric depositions, where land becomes contaminated and when air pollution falls onto it, are much less apparent. Let's consider the main causes and types of land pollution in turns. Now, the first cause of the land pollution, that is, or the source of land pollution, that is agriculture sources or agriculture causes. خود زراعت میتواند باعث آلودگی محیط شود. So these include waste matter produced by crop, animal manures, and farms residues. They also include the chemical leftover all of pesticide, fertilizer, and insecticide used for agriculture activity. With growing human populations, demand for food has increased considerably. Farmers often use highly toxic fertilizer and pesticide to get rid of insects, fungi, and bacteria from their crops. However, with the overuse of these chemicals, they result in contamination and poisoning of the soils. خود زراعت هم منبع کسی بودن محیط هستند که در زراعت که مثلا زراعت درست به شکل درست نمو وعده کند، زراعت درست داشته باشیم، ما از بعضی مواد کیمیایی مثل حشره‌کش هستند، مثلا پستیساید است، انسکتیساید است، خزنده هستند. این چیزها را که میکشه ما از این مواد استفاده میکنیم. پس این میتواند که یک از باعث لند پولوشن شود. یعنی خود باکتریا و فنگای و انسکتس که هستند، این بالای کراپس ما، فصل ما و شما میشینه. ما وقتی که از استفاده میکنیم، هم به انسان هم به حیوان، باز امراض از این طریق هم انتقال می‌یابد. خب طبعا باز ما میگیم که مهم سببی که باعث آلودگی محیط میشود او agriculture source است. So there is ashes, irastan, یعنی خاکستر است. The residual matter that remains after solid fuels are burned. When waste is burned in incinerator, two types of ashes are produced. Bottom ash is the debris from burnt metals and glass waste, and bottom ashes are not biodegradable. The second type of ash is called fly ash. This is the ash that is trapped by filters in the chimney of the incinerator. It is known to be very toxic, poisonous. Every 4 trucks of waste burnt produced about 1 truck of ashes that end up in landfill. 2. Ashes usually leak into the soil and water tables, causing land and water pollution. So ashes خود خاکستر یرا هم باعث کثیف بودن زمین می شود. Another causes of or source of the land pollution is mining sources. معدن‌هاستند، خود معدن باعثی می شود که محیط را کثیف بسازد. So this includes piles of coal refuse in heaps of slag and underground debris. Mining and forestry activity that clear the land surface, clear cuttings, and use skid trails often leave the land quality of the leave the land unrestored. The surface is exposed to erosion while we destroy the quality of the land. Additionally, irons and other chemicals such as copper, mercury, and lead from many mining practices leach into the soil, polluting it and leaving it exposed to water body as well. During the extraction and mining activity, several land spaces are created beneath the surface, and we constantly hear about land caving in, and this is nothing but nature ways of filling the spaces left out after minings or extraction activities. Along this overcrowded landfills جایی که رش باشه بدوباز باشه زیاد باشه خودی هجوم باشد این باید همه می شود که انسان محیط را کثیف بسازد و باعث کثیف بدن محیط شود. So each household produces tons of garbage each year. Garbage like aluminum, plastic, paper, cloth, wood is collected and sent to the local recycling unit. Item that cannot be recycled become a part of the landfills that hampers the beauty of the city and cause land pollution. So overcrowded landfills also become one of the main reasons for the land pollutions. Urbanization is another major cause of the land pollutions. Humans have been making permanent settlement for at least hundreds thousand years, and short of some major accident or natural disaster, most of the cities and towns we have created in the infrastructure that keeps them running will remain with us for 1,000 more years into the future. Not many of us would automatically classify city and other humans settlement as a land pollutions. People obviously need to live and work somewhere. Even so, urbanization marks a hugely important change to the landscape that can cause land pollution in a variety of subtle and not so subtle ways. If you see the picture, so how much the land is polluted, so many things have been discarded and disposed here, and it caused a land pollution. It really damaged the humans existing in the nearby the geographical area where these things are being unloaded. So with over 7 billion peoples on the planet, it might come as a surprise to find that humans have urbanized only about 3% of Earth's total land surface. Number one, though almost a third of the total land area has been transformed if we include agriculture. Two, our impact on the planet extends much further than urbanization might suggest. In 1996, Herbert Girard estimated that London, England has an ecological footprint add up that affects for every major city in the world, and you would an idea of how big impact urbanization has had. So there is another cause or source of the industrial pollution, that is industrial sources. خود که منابع صنعت چیزی که از مواد استفاده میشه و موادی که زیر مثلا استفاده بازنگری نیستن، به خاطر industrial sources هم میتواند یک از منبع land pollution شود. These include paints, chemical, metals, and aluminum, plastics, and so on that are produced in the process of manufacturing goods. So industrialization due to increase in demand for food, shelter, and house, more goods are produced. This resulted in creation of more waste that needs to be disposed of. To meet the demand of the growing population, more industries were developed which lead to deforestation. Research and development paved the way for modern fertilizer and chemical that were highly toxic and lead to soil contaminations. So along all these things, we are also having another types of source of this land pollution, that is called sewage treatments. It means these sewage systems which has been filled up by sewage, and while we are treating them, so sometimes it may pollute the land. So waste that are left over after sewage has been treated by mess, sludge, and settled solids. Some of these are sent directly to landfills, while other treatment plants burn them to generate electricity. Both end up polluting the environment. Sewage treatment, large amount of solid waste is left over once the sewage has been treated. The leftover material is sent to landfill site, which end up in the polluting of the environment. Another major things that is becomes a major cause of the land pollution, that is garbage or waste. خودی کثافات و گندگی و آلودگی و هم باعث خود land pollution می شود. So these include household or municipal waste such as glass, metal, cloth, and plastic, wood, papers, and so on. So some of these can decay and others cannot. So they are usually collected and sent to landfills where the pollution's actions begins. If you see in the coming picture, it will be visible to you anyhow. Let me talk more about the garbage. Human produce vast quantity of waste in factories and offices, in our homes, in school, in such unlikely places as hospital. Even the most sophisticated waste processing plants, which use plasma torches, electronically controlled flames at temperature of thousands of degrees to turn waste into gas, produce solid waste products that have to be disposed of somehow. There is simply no getting away from waste. Our ultimate fate as human is to die and become waste product that have to be burnt or buried. If you see this picture, then you can see the major 79% of that is general waste, while hazardous waste is only 17%, and incinerated ash, that is almost 4%, which is equal to 0, and medical waste, which is almost there is no need for. So these are the percentage of the different wastes that is taking place in health organization or health institutions. So waste disposal didn't always mean land pollutions. Before the 20th century, most of the material people used were completely natural, produced from either plants, animals, or minerals found in the earth. So when they were disposed of, the waste product they generated were naturals and harmless too, mostly organics, carbon-based material that would simply biodegrade, break down eventually into soil-like compost. So another types of the land pollution that is being taking place in human society is itself, that is construction sources. بعضی اوقات از منابع و از کارهای ساختمانی هم باعث محیط زیست کثیف می شود. These include waste like debris, wood, metals, and plastic that are produced from construction activity. So construction activity due to urbanization and large amount of construction activities are taking place, which has resulted in large waste articles like wood, metal, bricks, plastic that can be seen by naked eye outside any building or office which is under the constructions. خودی منابع از چیزایی که مثلا ما استفاده میکنیم مثل پلاستیک، مثل فلز، مثل چوب، مثل فلزات دیگر که از اون ما در کارهای ساختمانی استفاده میکنیم، پس مانده از آنها هم که هستند باعث امو کثیف بودن محیط میشود. در ضمن دیفورستیشنز خودی هم یک از سبب چی میشود، سبب land pollution می شود. یعنی وقتی که جنگلات از بین می رود، چیزی که هوای مثلا توسط جنگلات و درخت ها مثلا تصفیه می شود، ما اکسیژن می گیریم، کربن دی اکساید را می کشیم. وقتی که دیفورستیشن صورت بگیرد، طبعا در وجه مثلا حیوانات زیادی در وجه زندگی می کند، امی خودی باعث می شه که در وجه یک پولوشن به نام land pollution یاد می شود، پیدا می شود که خودی deforestation یک از سبب land pollution هستند. So this is when the trees are cut down for economic purpose, mining, farming, and construction. In forest area, trees absorb and reflect about 20% of the intense heat from the sun, protecting and preserving its surface soil. Cutting down trees mean that the land is exposed to direct sunlight and rain, which is resulting in soil erosion, desertifications, and land degradations. So almost all these are the deforestation, which also become a major cause of the land pollutions. Beside all these, some chemicals in nuclear plants may also cause very vast and a huge disaster may it comes because of these chemicals in nuclear plants, and which cause land pollutions, and millions of acres of earth will be contacted with infected material infected things because of the land pollution. It may cause some real more problem, that is because of the chemical in land would be polluted. بعضی موادهای کیمیایی هستند یا خودی پلانت های هسته‌ای هستند که از اون استفاده میشه در محیط، با غیر محیط هم از زیر تاثیر و تحت قرار خود قرار میارد و ما شما همون چیزی کاری که باید انجام بدیم از یاد ما میرود. به این خاطر اگر ما کارهایی را به شکل درست انجام بدیم، مواد کیمیایی، نیوکلیر پلانت، هر چیزی که هستند، چیزایی که تولید می شود، بعد از تولیدشان باید مستقیما ما داخل جریان ساحه شویم. این چیزها را که مثلا باعث آلودگی محیط شده، آلودگی زمین شده، از او جلوگیری خواهد گرفتیم. These include chemical waste from chemical industries that are disposed of into landfills. Nuclear plants can produce huge amount of energy from nuclear fissions and fusions. The leftover radioactive materials contains harmful and toxic chemical and that can affect the human health. So they are dumped beneath the earth to avoid any casualties. While oil refineries, when crude oil is refined into usable petrol, gas or diesel, thereby by these products that are end up as a waste becomes one of the major cause for the land pollution. طبعا وقتی که ما محیط را به شکل درست نگهداری بکنیم، خداوند برای ما اجرش میده، هم به این دنیا هم به اون دنیا ما میتونیم فایدهش ببینیم. یعنی هر چیزی که در مورد اخلاق ما مطالعه میکنیم، اما تغییراتی که ما مثلا میخوایم در زندگی خود را بیاریم، این ما شما را مثلا پیغام مسیج این را میده که ما همه روزه باید دست به کار شویم و بدانیم ما به شکل درست محیط و مملکت خود را به شکل درست به طرف جست رهبری بکنیم، مشکلات کم ایجاد شود. خب به این خاطر هر چیزی که ما میاموزیم به خاطر این که مثلا فایدهش هم به جامعه و هم به مردم برسد. So oil refineries is the last source and cause of the land pollutions. خود تصفیه تیل که هستند هم باعث pollution آب می شود. So these were all about today's lectures. See you till next lecture. Allah Hafiz. Wish you all the best. Enjoy your life.